Good morning, guys. We are at Apulaj in Ollantaytambo, and this video is going to be a little different this time. We just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to tell you about.
Yeah, we have a lot of updates and we want to be really transparent with you guys. So throughout our time in Peru, we have really tried to keep it super positive in our videos and everything like that, but we have actually had also a lot of hard times, which we haven't talked about quite as much. So the last few weeks, we've both been feeling homesick. I think it hit me sooner than Alex, but I just started getting this feeling, and I didn't really exactly know why, because we were starting to be able to do more things than we had been with lockdown. But I started getting this feeling like it felt right to go back home.
And for me, it wasn't so much feeling homesick as that we were here for a long time hoping that once we got through with lockdown, after a month, maybe 2, maybe 3 months of lockdown, that we would be able to do things in Peru. We came here to travel, we came here to see this beautiful country, and things just have not opened up. Even when lockdown kind of stopped in Cusco and we were able to travel again, we thought we were able to travel again, most things were still closed. Machu Picchu, Rainbow Mountain, all of the Rainbow Mountains,
even
and everything else.
Even stuff that's in the middle of really nowhere, in the middle of nature. These small communities are very scared of the virus and are not letting us in. So for those of you who are new to the channel, we have been in Peru for 6 months, not being able to fly home, borders are closed, and we started out thinking the lockdown would go for a month, and then it turned into 4 months, and then now we're back in lockdown again in some regions in Peru.
So when the lockdown happened in the first place and we were in Peru, almost all the tourists went home. Everyone we met, everyone seemed to be trying to get home because of the lockdown. But we thought, hey, we are travelers. We wanted to stay here, be in this beautiful country during lockdown, and then at the end of lockdown we'd be able to do a lot of things.
But we were very wrong. Even though lockdown ended, a lot of the touristic sites stayed closed. So we started to get kind of frustrated by that. We felt like we're here in Peru, not being able to see these amazing things, and it seemed things were actually getting worse and not better recently.
Yeah, every time we heard that things were getting better, that lockdowns would be lifted, that they were going from one phase to another phase and kind of getting better in this country, it was usually a rumor and things just kind of went backwards. Things opened up for a couple weeks and then it got really bad when domestic flights started within this country. And so they went back into lockdown, pretty much almost a countrywide lockdown. And even the places that are far, far away from everybody, we're not allowed to go. So we're in this country basically confined to the 4 walls of a house. We can't travel, we can't really see things. And even if you've been watching all our videos and you see us sometimes see things and show you ruins and things like that, usually we don't get much time there. We can be there for 10 minutes and then we get kicked out. 40 minutes or we get kicked out. And so we can barely show you guys anything. We can barely see anything.
I mean, we have seen a lot of things, like you've seen in our videos. We see awesome things, but that does not come without effort. Also, those things technically are closed, so the only way we're doing that is by waking up at 4 in the morning, getting there, getting scared that someone's gonna blow their whistle at us.
And eventually they do.
Yeah.
Every time.
And so, I mean, we are seeing these things, but it's because we know the right people or we go at the right times. And so it's getting hard.
Yeah, so it's not getting better. We keep hearing more things. So this week we heard that Peru probably won't open its borders until mid next year, which would mean
Which I believe.
Yeah, which means that if we don't go home, we would be stuck in Peru probably for a year or more and not even get to see things.
Not even see Machu Picchu after being in Peru for a year and a half. After being in Cusco for a year and a half.
We would just be living in Peru, but 90% of the restaurants are closed, 90% of the cafes, all of the sites. So there's really no point in us being here when we can't see anything. And we can't see family, we can't be home seeing our friends, family, and all of that, everything familiar to us.
It's been long enough. We've also had a roller coaster of emotions from the very beginning of this, because no one expected it would go this long in Peru or be this strict. So we went from 4 months of lockdown, and then hearing rumors of, oh, Machu Picchu will open at the end of June, at the beginning of July, at the end of July. We've literally heard that so many times, and then now we're just convinced it won't be open till next year, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we kept thinking these touristic sites would be open, and I think there are people, or even the government maybe, that wants to open these sites, make some money from these places, but then the smaller, the villagers, the townspeople nearby, they usually don't want to open it up because they don't want to get sick. So they're all fighting with each other, and basically nothing is happening. Nothing's opening up, and so there's not much of a reason for us to be in Peru for over a year, not able to do anything.
Basically, we just really want to get back out there and travel. We feel like we've kind of reached our limit here in Peru. And I think the point where we really became frustrated is when we started going to these sites that are really in the middle of nowhere. And the villagers would stop us and not let us come in because we're gringos. And then as they're talking to us saying that we can't go in, their own village townspeople that went out of the town to get groceries into the big town where we live, and then they came back in, they're allowed, but we're not. So like when the logic doesn't make sense, it just really is frustrating and
it doesn't make sense at all.
Disappointing.
Especially because they know if we're tourists in Peru, borders have been closed, so we obviously have been here for months. We haven't come from another country, come in. We've been in Peru.
Anyone who's in Peru now has been here for 6 months.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
So the local Peruvians can go from smaller town into town, like say we're in Ollantaytambo. They can come here, get their groceries, and possibly get COVID, bring it back to town, but we can't
Bring it back
come
to
into
their
this,
village.
Bring it back to their village, but we can't reside in this town exactly where they are
And go
and
to
get
their
our
village.
groceries and then go to their village. So they're just
That logic does not resonate with me. Whatever logic they're using.
And the other thing is, like, they're the village people, they're probably talking to each other, they have family and friends there. The only thing that we want to do most of the times when they don't let us in is walk by a house. Very far from a house, just because you have to walk.
Not touching anyone,
Yeah.
breathing on anyone.
We want to walk on a road for 5 minutes to get to a destination where there are no people. So there's no possibility of infecting anybody. So there's just no logic involved.
Okay, so basically, we've reached our limit, and once we realized we could be stuck here for over a year, we started looking into options to get home. Repatriation flights to the US are like $3,000, so that was never really a great option for us. That's a lot of money for us. We could live in Peru for
A year.
6 months on that, if not more.
Yeah, so the whole transportation process of getting from where we are, like the Cusco area, to Lima, to get a flight to Miami, and then for both of us to go to our homes, that would be $3,000 US or more.
Yeah. So we started looking at cheaper options. We luckily found a repatriation flight that leaves out of Lima to Mexico City. And then we have 4 days to leave Mexico, since it's a repatriation flight, to get home to the US. So
we've pretty much decided that that's what we're gonna do. So we are going to
We booked a
leave
flight.
Peru. We booked a flight to Mexico, and then back home.
And the cost of that for the repatriation flight was $1,000.
So still a lot.
Still
and
a lot.
and to get from here to Lima, it cost quite a lot.
Yeah, so we have to hire a private car, and it's 1,500 soles from here to Lima, which was by far the cheapest
Oh yeah.
offer we had.
We had offers for over 4,000 soles, so that's $1,000 US to get from here to Lima, and we have to get to Lima to take the flights because that's the only place where the flights are leaving from, and then the very, very expensive flight to get home. So we're spending a lot of money to get home still, but it's a little better than our own repatriation flights. This is like a Mexican one that we were very surprised that we could get on.
So to break it down for you, we're spending about $400 total to get to Lima in a car. 24-hour drive there. Then we're taking the $1,000 flight to Mexico City. And then we have some subscribers who were super generous and helped us out with our leg of the flight from Mexico City to home. I'm going to Minnesota.
And I'm going to California. So the plan after that, we both wanted to visit home, each of our homes, so we're going to be separate for a little while, probably a couple weeks. But this isn't the end of our travels, this isn't the end of the channel. It's just the beginning. So, you'll continue to see these Peru videos for a little while, and it'll probably be a seamless transition into when we start traveling again. But we're going to show you the whole process when we leave pretty soon. So we're going to film the car ride while we're trying to get to Lima, which will take 2 days.
We'll be filming the COVID test process. We have to get a rapid COVID test before we can drive to Lima.
We'll be filming the flights, we'll be filming separately if possible, as much as we can. We'll try to put that footage together, and then maybe we'll show you quickly our separate lockdowns in California, or not lockdowns, just...
We'll show you what
just
life is like with COVID.
Life during
States.
COVID in California and Minnesota.
I'm sure they'll be very different. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, really will. Minnesota and California are completely different states, so that'll be pretty cool. You'll get to see a little bit of the US COVID life. And then we don't know for sure where we can get into. Some countries are opening up to United States citizens, not many, just a few, but we're hoping in the next month, as we're home, more things will open, and then we'll be meeting up again and traveling somewhere else.
So your guess is as good as ours where we'll end up. It's going to depend on the cost of the flight. We don't want to get ourselves into a situation where we're going to be on lockdown again, so we want to make sure we're going to a country that is not going to end up in a strict lockdown.
So where do you guys think we should go? There probably won't be a ton of options, but we're thinking Mexico is going to be open.
Eastern Europe.
Some countries in Eastern Europe.
Dominican Republic.
A lot of the islands around the world. Island countries. Yeah, we don't know. But if you had your choice of where you would be interested in seeing from us next, let us know.
So in the coming weeks, you'll be seeing a Rainbow Mountain, you'll be seeing Lima videos, you'll be seeing Mexico videos, and then our flight home. And we feel really good about this decision. I definitely think we made the right choice purchasing a flight now. I'm sure it's going to be even harder and more expensive to get flights the longer we wait, because now that they announced the closure of the border for the next year, people are going to be trying to get home now on these repatriation flights.
Yeah. That's the thing, we knew if we didn't make the move right now to get this flight to Mexico that we saw, we could be stuck for another 6 months or something. So it was pretty much now or never. We didn't want to leave Peru just yet. We had a lot of things that we still wanted to see, but a lot of them aren't opening up, and we just felt like we were just waiting around, waiting and waiting for things to open up.
So,
and it's never happening.
We have to be okay with what we did see. We did get to see a lot. We've learned a lot, so we're very thankful for our time in Peru. If you are from Peru and have been following our journey, please don't stop following us just after this when we leave Peru, because there is so much more of the world to see that's super interesting, and we want to show it to you.
We're going to show you so many different cultures, different foods, countries all around the world, and they will be very interesting. We swear, we'll make interesting videos and you'll learn a lot. And we want you guys to continue being here with us, because a lot of you have been some of the best subscribers that we have ever had. Well, I've had a YouTube channel for a few years and you guys have been the best. So supportive, always liking, commenting, engaging with everything. So we really thank you guys all for that, and we really hope that you'll stick around even when we're in other countries.
So we're hoping that our flight leaves on time. A lot of these flights end up getting pushed back. If it does get pushed back, I guess we'll just have more time in Lima. That'd be okay. We feel like we didn't get to experience the true Lima, so.
Yeah, that would even be nice. If it could get pushed back for a week or two, we would love to do some food videos in Lima and some other things. We will let you guys know if that happens, and we'll be asking you a lot of what we should see and what we should do there.
And we have a special surprise for the way we're going to spend our last few days in Sacred Valley. We're not going to tell you yet, but we're very excited, and we think you guys will like it too.
So this whole thing is kind of bittersweet for us as much as probably for you. I know a lot of you have said over the last few weeks that you wanted us to stay in Peru forever and continue making videos here and move here and live here. We will be back in Peru. It isn't over, and we have a lot more videos to show you guys still from Peru.
Thanks for listening to our entire story and plans. If you guys have questions, please leave them below. We'll try to get to them in our next Q&As. And if you have any advice, thoughts, feedback, let us know.
And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe down below and click the bell notification button so that you know when our next videos come out, when we travel the rest of the world. Like this video, even if you're upset that we're leaving. It really helps us out if you like it.
Follow us on Instagram, Lindsay Travelbum.
And Alexander Travelbum. For a lot of photos and shorter video clips that you don't get on YouTube. Really, follow us there. It's gonna be good.
Alright, thank you guys for everything, and we have a lot more exciting stuff coming up, but we just wanted to update you on where we're at right now.
And hopefully we will see you in the next video. So if you want more, if you want daily stuff, you should head to Instagram. Find us at Alexander Travelbum. And that's where you'll find daily stories and photos about our travels. Hey, thanks for making it all the way through this video. If you want to watch more, click one of these videos. Subscribe because I'm traveling all around the world and I'm sharing the whole thing with you. Thanks.